Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Here is Rockman Spot Connection with my review of Godzilla, King of the Monsters. Okay, so Godzilla, King of the Monsters comes out this weekend, and well, I got back from seeing it a little bit ago. So, what is the movie about? Godzilla versus King Ghidorah for supremacy over the other kaiju. Oh, Titans. Oh yeah, they're human characters too. Quick opinion is that was one hell of a Godzilla sequel. Okay, so cast of note. Godzilla played himself, did a good job. As did Mothra played herself, and Rodan played himself. King Ghidorah played Monster Zero, well, himself. Kind of took on a pseudonym for part of the movie. Actually, it's a really nice nod to Ghidorah's second film appearance. One of the Godzilla vs. Invasion of the Astro Monster, which one of the titles for it being Godzilla vs. Monster Zero. So anyway, got Kyle Chandler as Mark Russell, who's a wildlife photographer and former, as when the movie begins, member of Monarch, who blames Godzilla for the death of his son during the climax of the first movie, the 2014 movie. Vera Farmiga is Dr. Emma Russell, Mark's ex-wife. She's a Monarch scientist working on bioacoustics, amongst other things. Millie Bobby Brown is their daughter, Madison. Lives with her mother because, well, mom's got custody because dad drank memories of his son away, or tried to at least. Kim Watanabe reprises his role as Dr. Ishiro Serizawa. He's pretty much, with his father having been a founder, he's kind of regarded as being the leader of the group, and he has a very deep respect for the kaiju. Yi Xiang as Drs. Eileen Chen and Ling. Twin third-generation members of Monarch. So actually another neat little nod to Mothra's film history. Bradley Whitford is Dr. Rick Stanton, who's a cryptosonographer working for Monarch, who is actually loosely inspired by Rick Sanchez from Rick and Morty. Sally Hawkins reprising her role as Dr. Vivienne Graham. She's a scientist with Monarch and Professor Serizawa's right hand. Charles Dance plays Jonah Allen, who's a former MI6 agent turned eco-terrorist. Pretty much for the human element, he's kind of the main bad guy. Then finally we got Thomas Middleditch as Sam Coleman, who's Monarch Director of Technology and Communications Liaison with the U.S. government. Alright, so our spoiler-free breakdown. The movie begins, it's got a little flashback to the climax of the 2014 movie, but from the perspectives of Mark and Emma Russell trying to find their child during the craziness, their son during all the craziness. So we meet them. Mothra hatches. Dr. Russell and her daughter get kidnapped by Jonah Allen and his people. Mothra cocoons herself in a waterfall. Also, they've got the eco-terrorists have a device called the Orca, which has stored biofrequency. It basically allows them to find the right frequency to say, "Hey, we're cool. Don't hurt us, please." And basically. Folks from Monarch, including Mark, is then recruited to help find Emma and Madison. And turns out Godzilla starts getting a little squirrely and heads on out, and turns out he's going towards Antarctica. And Mark says that's that. That's who we should be calling Godzilla. So they follow, and turns out that yeah, he was right, and Jonah and his people are there. Which I think I screwed up the name. Yeah, Jonah Allen. Yeah. He's there with his people, and they end up freeing King Ghidorah, or Monster Zero, as he's referred to. But that, during all the evacuation craziness, and when King Ghidorah rises, we get our first kaiju battle of the movie as Godzilla takes on King Ghidorah, and then while the humans leave. And so, anyway, Monarch figures out that probably the next course of action for the eco-terrorists is probably they're going to try and free Rodan. And so, sadly, they've lost track of King Ghidorah, and Rodan is set loose. This leads to a fight between the two, which is interrupted by Godzilla showing up for round 2. However, soon enough, all the kaiju on the planet are woken up, and they begin to wreck shit everywhere. Like, worldwide, they are just tearing shit up. So anyway, moving on. Madison manages to get away from the eco-terrorists and uses Orca to get Monster Zero, King Ghidorah, away from Washington, D.C., where he's kind of settled. Setting the stage for the big final battle. During this time, names. Dr. Chen manages to figure out basically just digs through everything she can and finally figures out, who King Ghidorah was, and, it turns out that they're really, basically, it's like Agents of Legends made a point to not talk about him. So, but yeah. The stage is set for the final battle in Boston at Fenway Park. Go Sox. And we get some good, not high quality monster on monster action. But anyway, moving on to, of course, the ups and the downs. Start with the ups as always. Lots of kaiju fights, and in a variety of locations, and not just. They don't all just feature, Godzilla versus Ghidorah, or yeah, you get the idea. It expands on this new version of the Godzilla mythology, and it does it well without feeling forced most of the time. We'll get into that later. The human characters, while important, don't really trump the kaiju. And I'm not just talking about Godzilla, I mean all of them, And again, that's kind of a most of the time. There are points when the middle of the movie does kind of slow down to, focus on our human characters and see them learn. But, to be perfectly honest, that's kind of a normal thing in these movies. So, yeah. The way King Ghidorah is done is so cool. With the heads actually kind of snapping at one another. It's really neat. I love it. And I mean, the visual effects just in general are really great. Also, there's so many references to previous films in the franchise, and I don't just mean Godzilla. I'm talking, all of the Toho monster franchises. The overall thing that like as I mentioned earlier, the fact that Geeker is referred to as Monster Zero, Doctors Chen and Ling being twins, yeah, stuff like that. We get to hear the Godzilla theme, redone version, but the Godzilla theme, so that's cool. But the original version of it also plays in the movie, so at least there's that. And then awesome kaiju fights are awesome. So okay, this is not a perfect movie. So I remember what I said about the human characters not getting in the way most of the time, or the story of the human characters. I kind of feel like it or not trumping the kaiju. There was one point where it really does, and it was kind of no, I want to see that. That's what I want to. No, I don't want to see you. I want to see that. It was something that really could have been really just shortened to work around the kaiju fight. I would like to see more of the classic Toho kaiju, but as I understand it, Biollante had some undisclosed legal troubles. Gamera had scheduling conflicts and contractual conflicts with Toho. Hydra had health problems. Gigan apparently had some personality conflicts with Rodan. And Zilla was apparently just this super huge diva, and so, yeah. So I guess that's why they utilized some newer kaiju. And remember what I said about how it expands on the mythology while without being, and does sort of in a way that doesn't seem too forced most of the time. They make a point anytime they can to hammer in Kong Skull Island as a part of all of this. Any opportunity they have to, mention Skull Island or mention Kong, boom! Kong, Skull Island, Kong is Skull Island. It's like, we know, we get it, okay? We get it. And just in case just to make sure we all know, Kong Skull Island is a part of the whole franchise, of this current franchise. Just so we're all clear. It was, at first it was kind of neat. Like, okay, we're not even, they're not going to try and surprise us next in Kong versus Godzilla. They're just going to be like, yeah, okay, here's some, like, all right, cool, we got some. They're like, oh, okay. On the plus side of that, though, there is a Joe Morton plays an older version of one of the characters from Kong Skull Island. So that's cool. Anyway, my overall opinion of the movie is that it goes like this: Godzilla was made to please a mass audience, and this was also made to please a mass audience. At the same time, it was also made much more for fans of the franchise, hence all of the references. I mean, I was just basically, kind of just the tip of the iceberg, but yeah. And honestly, I loved it for that. I loved it for the kaiju fights. I loved it for basically saying, okay, yes, this is a movie about giant monsters beating the shit out of each other, so that's what we need to be showing a lot of. And that's good. And I highly recommend this movie, especially to fans of Godzilla. Like I said, only problem with how the movie goes is the slump in the middle. but even then, it's expository. Rating, I gotta give it a 4.5 out of 5. You know, I mean, keeping it in context of what it is, it was a damn good Godzilla movie. So anyway, that's it for now. I'm gonna try in some point in the near future to get a review up for Maw, because I forgot that was coming out this weekend. And yeah. Don't expect it this over the weekend, maybe early in the week though. At the latest next weekend after Dark Phoenix. Anyway, as always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Hit the bell icon to be notified when I put up new content. Links to my Facebook, Twitter, and Patreon are in the description box down below. This is Rock and Roll Spock signing off saying, live long and rock hard.